for AL is just Jace, unless they're doing something completely off the wall. And JDG kind of have their pick of the litter. What do they really fear from anyone's legend? Oh!
Well, that is going to be the Jace ban by JDG. They did ban that away when they were back on the blue side.
You have first pick and you're banning Jace. That's a big red flag.
And now it just swaps. So Malphite goes to the red side ban instead. So, you know, they just swap places. But we need to really see what JDG want. Is it going to be early focus for this mid-jungle duo? Are they going to go with something that can really be ran through the map by JunJia? And it looks like it's going to be the J4.
In answer to your question, Mazel, yes they are. Jarvan, one of these really solid early game picks that can have lots of impact through the early stages of this game, and hopefully in the late game as well going to be able to lock down some pretty important targets and hopefully make AL a little bit fearful for what picks they end up taking. We're going back to pretty much the start of last year almost here with these two picks getting locked in. We're back to AD, Bruiser, Jungler meta.
This was something that was banned away by JDG before.
Yeah, it's a big Tarzan pick as well. He was looking so good on the Wukong throughout the entirety of last year. What are they going to pair this up with though? Obviously Orianna taken off the board, so we might end up seeing some top laners maybe if there's an AD carry that is looking really strong.
Let's go. His Rek'Sai, baby. We talked about it. We had the 2025 Worlds Flandre stats. It's all about the Rek'Sai.
That's good. That's good. I like to see this. This is it's a callback, right, to the graphic we threw at the start of the show. He plays Rek'Sai at Worlds. He wins on Rek'Sai. That's just the way that Flandre does it. He's taking it blind this time round. So this is again a call out to Xiaoxu. What do you have in the tank? Renekton is a notoriously bad answer to the Rek'Sai, right? The Rek'Sai typically picked into it, but if Xiaoxu wants to go for comfort, he could very well opt into this matchup and say, I'll do more later on than you can do to punish me.
You got the fish in the barrel combination locked in for JDG with the Misfortune and the Jarvan. We'll see what they want to kind of finish out this first phase with, but I expect something to help continuously set up that Misfortune to get as much damage in as possible. They're really going with kind of set pieces into their fights, and now the Rakan locked in as well.
They are going for wombo and combo, and those are the two things that they will be speaking today. It's going to be a wonderful little five-man duo, or five-man composition that JDG are going to press R and pray to the lords that AL die. Now, the issue with this is that you can just pick things that hop out of those ultimates. So I'm looking at this Ahri in particular. I expect to be locked in for Shanks. Was again a pretty decent pick for him, if memory serves, throughout 2025. But then we're looking at things like Corki down in the bot side to get banned away by JDG, because it's not just a pick that can kind of go toe-to-toe with a Misfortune early on. It's also very powerful with a new crit build that has emerged if people want to go for that, but also has the Valkyrie to get out of any dangerous positions that the Jarvan may put you in. So it's a triple-fold approach as to why Corki should be banned, and I think JDG would be wise to do so.
Well, they AL already has 3 dashes on each one of their chances. I feel like it's, you know, JDG picked this comp because they knew it was comfort for themselves, and they want to try to use some of that in game 3. But these bans extremely important. The Aurora ban going to be there for AL. We'll see if JDG do focus on that bot lane at all.
Yeah, making sure that there's a decent mid lane matchup here for Shanks, because HongQ has, I mean, without doubt, been getting the best of him throughout the duration of this series. So getting him a favourable matchup is going to be very important for them.
There's
we'll
that
see
Corki.
If that continues. And yeah, Corki ban, no surprises.
A little tip of the hat there, buddy. Good job.
Thank you.
Do wonder if they're going to kind of keep that similarity going. I would honestly not mind any support bans from JDG. Maybe take away something from Kael, but the Cassiopeia is going to be taken away from HongQ. We've seen that before somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Cassio is a very good ban, especially with the grounding effect that she has. If you get caught by a stun, get caught ungrounded, then all of that mobility all of a sudden goes to the wayside. I mean, there's an argument here for a Janna pick for Kael, but that's just so far out of the meta that I think I'm wishing a little bit with that one. Maybe Nami gets picked up though, as an actual disengaged champ that we end up seeing. You know, the wave can be pretty good, or Renata. And they can't do anything about this. JDG can do nothing about this unless they're going to take solo lane Rakan. Renata is free for the picking.
Yeah, that's that would be so tough. And Renata is so good. Yeah, that's why I was shaking my head. It's like, it's so ridiculous into this comp already, and there's still 2 pieces missing from JDG. They need some kind of consistency. Maybe that comes from the mid lane. Wouldn't mind some extra damage to be layered in on top of that misfortune, and the victor is going to be the answer.
And now you just have to pick a top laner that doesn't particularly auto-attack. And, well, we'll see.
Like he auto-attacks, but
I feel like he auto-attacks too, I'm going to be honest. They're just pretending that Renata doesn't exist. And,
she does. And she's coming to them as Nightmare.
Yeah. Not great. But
paired up with Kalista. I don't like Kalista, I'm just saying.
No? Okay. I mean, that can also hop out of the Cataclysm.
It can.
Is my retort.
But will it
But it's
carry?
difficult to pilot, and it's also going to get slammed, you would hope, by a misfortune. I think this is, again, going to have a lot of waiting on how well Vampire does. And if game 1 is anything to go by, that's amazing. If game 2 is anything to go by, you should be scared, because there are 2 different beasts thus far that we've seen when this guy plays his champions, and we will see whether or not he ends up piloting this one as well as he did the Nautilus, or as well as he did the Bard, which
it's like
rather forget.
Night and day. Huh. That's crazy with a vampire. Huh. But anyways, this is the final bout in the Tabe Bowl. Obviously, Tabe there, the new coach of JDG, spent all last year with AL and really was a cornerstone of bringing in Tarzan and Flandre to make that team as good as it did end up being. And now he's got his new project that he's excited about, facing up against his old team. And we've seen that, like you had mentioned, foreshadowed to back and forth from both teams. But this is where it all comes down to. And a third game wouldn't have it any other way for this one. And I think it's fun to see some of these narratives developing. Both these teams are coming off pretty tough losses. And to kind of get that buck up in the season, and especially as we move forward into this split number 1, is important as ever. And game number 3, rather, the final deciding game of this Tabe Bowl will be decided now. That guy was sleeping.
In a game 3? In a game 3, guy? Come on. Surely not. Well, sleep or not, Mazel, I don't think many of us are going to be sleeping at the wheel with this one. This is 2 teams that we probably expect to see make it to an international at some stage in this year, and getting to see a double round robin between them as early on into the season as this. Definitely very exciting, and you can already see that Hope and Kael looking to pave the way through this bot lane as a very solid duo, but JunJia here going for another invade. Not spotted on a ward this time round, and this red buff most likely just going to be taken.
I do wonder what Tarzan does in response to this once he finds out, because right now he thinks all is fine. He maybe has an idea.
I'm pretty sure he cries. I'm pretty sure what he does is go, my red got stolen, and then be sad.
And if JunJia can pilot this right, he should be able to get this, get out, and then potentially go for even more on the bot side for the Krugs too. Knowing that Tarzan is not going to make it down here for quite some time. So he has plenty of time to do this, and Tarzan will just go for the chicken, so even more time delayed.
Yeah, and at this stage, Tarzan has no idea. Unfortunately, the bot lane of anyone's legend is going to find out pretty quickly. Did they even spot him on the way out here? I don't think they spotted him.
No pings have come out yet, but Tarzan's going to be a little bit aggressive.
Oh. They're actually looking to do an invade themselves. They're looking to use the prio of Kalista Renata. Very common trend that you'll see is you push in and then try and take down the...
He knows something is up. Gromp is still there.
Yeah. And, you know, you can argue that maybe it's just smart pathing from JunJia as he decides he doesn't want to play on this Gromp, knowing that his bot lane has no prio, but puts the flag down, Tarzan stands on it, and we're kind of we're posturing very aggressively here.
We find ourselves in the same position.
This is Kalista Renata that we're trying to take this early fight up against, and at this stage you have to imagine that Flandre's in trouble first off, but you have to imagine that Tarzan's figured something out here, that something's not quite right in terms of what camps he's got, because he still hasn't checked his red or his Krugs.
He knows. He knows.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of vision play, but JunJia will just be right as rain. continue clearing up towards his top side. He's not even going to go for the scuttle. The big thing that Tarzan could do right now is go for that cross-map scuttle, because now he has the unfortunate information. He is going to just dart straight up there. I wonder if JunJia goes to contest it or just continues clearing.
He's got 3 camps to try and take. If he loses out on this fight, then he loses out on a lot of control around.
He's a level up.
4. He doesn't have mid prio, and his top laner is TPing back in, so looks like it's just going to be a forfeit. Double knock up there, but that might be the window for like CAL get a little bit more aggressive there, as they knew that the cooldown wasn't quite there. Looking at Gala's summoner spells as well, he's had to go for the cleanse this game, just knowing he's got to try and dice up against a Renata ulti coming his way. But I think that, when you use that barrier like that, that's your window to start trying to get aggressive onto the Misfortune. Use that bailout to try and go all in. A little bit of a window, maybe missed, maybe they just know better.
I don't want to toss things that early, at least. HongQ, no mana, just gets massively traded. One more auto might have done it. Didn't get it in. Now Flandre is in trouble. Flash play from JunJia. Beautifully done, as he's trying to hunt down the monster in the top lane. But they've got a monster themselves. First blood for Xiaoxu.
And that's grasp secured. Grasp kill being secured there for Xiaoxu, and Flandre on this Rek'Sai not quite able to really have the laning phase just yet that he's been hoping for. Yes, he's 5 CS to the good currently, but finds himself down a little bit here with that first blood going the way of Xiaoxu, who goes back to base, picks up that Sheen of all items, and is now going to be very much in a good position to start trading up against the Rek'Sai. As we get later on, I do think that this Rek'Sai has a pretty good time of things, I will say, because he's going to be looking at a Misfortune who doesn't have too many ways to deal with it. But a little bit of a replay. Good flash follow from JunJia as he finds access to the Rek'Sai, and the Unburrow knockup not quite enough to keep distance from Xiaoxu.
And first blood actually matters now.
400 gold, baby.
Yeah, more gold. Xiaoxu is going to try to catch up a little bit on this CS. Flandre goes for the proxy. Do you want to say, though, we have objective on the map. It is the first dragon. We've seen the dragons really lead to the advantage of whoever can kind of keep priority on that objective. And we do see at least Tarzan heading down to this bot side. And with the priority he has in his bot lane right now, maybe they go for an early drag.
Definitely on the cards with Kalista to smite secure as well. Do want to point out the position of our top laners currently. Obviously, we've got Flandre in between 2 turrets, working his way towards that quest completion. Versus Xiaoxu, who's getting a little bit slower in that, but this obviously gives a window for Flandre to start to make a move, start to roam. He is spotted, but he doesn't currently know that JunJia is here.
Oh no, he doesn't see JunJia because he's standing still. That's crazy. That was terrifying.
That's very funny. One of the counterplays that you have to Rek'Sai. Now 3v2 mid.
Oh, he tries to get the knock up there. Shanks tried to go through with the Spirit Rush. Now Flandre's got to be careful, though, as you do have the Arcane Storm being thrown through. Flandre needing an exit tool, but he can't. He's just going to burrow and try to heal up a little bit, but that's going to be another kill going to Xiaoxu on his Zahen.
That's 2 for nothing now. That's a second kill being picked up, and like you say, 2-0 onto Xiaoxu, and it's Flandre who's paying the price here for anyone's legend, as they looked for a play into the mid lane, weren't able to find it. Yes, Gala's going to lose out a little bit down on the spot side, but he's collecting these CS just fine, as Vampire did spellbook TP in to the mid lane. Now HongQ getting those Victor books from that early assist means that he's got the empowered laser. He can look to try and push Shanks a little bit further underneath the turret, and really make Shanks have a pretty miserable time of things, I must say.
Shanks has not been having fun this series, I feel like.
No,
and it's at the direct hands of HongQ. Even though he had a little bit of advantage, a little bit of push in that lane just a few moments ago, did not last very long. Now we've come to an interesting predicament on the map, because this is where grubs are spawning in about 30 seconds, and Dragon is still up.
Yeah, and obviously we want to try and get those quests completed, but we may end up just seeing those neutral objectives be traded. I think that with JunJia, who's got a really powerful, theoretically, Zahen in this top side, so you would expect the grubs to be the thing that we would see picked up by JDG. Good knockup.
They're going to use the charm too, but here comes all them bullets as the hostile takeover does exactly what it needed to do. Stop that from coming down even further. Will be the dragon, though, that had gotten started by AL. They used some of that distraction, but it's taking a long time. You got to remember, dragons are tankier and healthier now in 2026. Kael almost dies outright as JDG will come in and just say thank you for the leash.
And HongQ not quite able to snipe a laser there onto Kael, but it will be the Dragon you'd think secured as double recalls are coming on through. Quick charm from Shanks here. He's going for the vegan Ahri build, so he doesn't do any damage just yet. Later on, we might end up seeing some damage come through at the 3rd item marker, but Rod of Ages means this Ahri, for the time being, not particularly relevant, as Flandre, I don't know if misclicks forward or just decides to go in anyway. He just won't ease forward, setting up that tunnel to be destroyed, and that's a quick little boost as well being picked up for Xiaoxu. A little bit more gold in his pocket.
And he's got the Kael, by the way, so he's still just going to be having a little bit of a dump of gold as time goes on here. But that's just such an interesting position to be. I mean, about 1,300 gold lead for JDG right now. The grubs are up if they want to go ahead and take this one. They have a little bit of priority. They're going to get an all-in from HongQ here. Arcane Storm being purchased by him and used, but nothing else comes of it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Victor this early on is that Bro has no damage, so Shanks is happy to just walk that out, still has his ulti. And HongQ now may be a little bit susceptible to falling, as we've got level 6s being turned on by mid laners and junglers alike, so ulti's up and ready. I'd like to see some priority in trying to take down this Victor. As you can see, he's just continuously pushing this wave underneath the turret of Shanks and looking to try and farm up a bit of an advantage through doing so.
Surprised JunJia is keeping about a 10 CS level advantage on Tarzan so far, and they've started up the grubs, I believe, up there, so he'll get even more XP coming through.
Yeah, early game going very well for JDG. Do think that that is mandated, though. I mean, honestly, even if this game gets later, I don't know that JDG particularly falls off. I think Victor does very well. I think the state of Misfortune right now is that she always does damage, and previously I was concerned for Misfortune as the game gets later, but that's not the case this time.
Nice little sidestep from Hope. Oh no, Kael misses the knockup on a Gala, maybe just not wanting to go under turret range, but that is a little bit tough, a little bit of a trade on the 2v2 in the bot side, but I still do feel like Hope needs to find a little bit of something in terms of gold for this Kalista to get online.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to be easy for the Kalista navigating these team fights later on, because Misfortune can just auto-attack you for a boatload of damage.
They had no idea JunJia was coming around the corner there, and they paid dearly for it. That's going to be 4 kills going early to JDG if they can finish off Kael. They'll have the bailout. They will leave him to die. Maybe Gala. Oh, Gala couldn't get in there. JunJia will get the kill.
Yeah, not sure if he was on cooldown there for Gala or not, but Make It Rain would have been enough to secure the kill. Either way, though. Quick little pickup for JDG down on that bot side. They're now 4-0 in this game, looking very, very promising as they move through the first 11 minutes of this game. And Anyone's Legend, for the time being, not particularly accomplishing all that much. I think you're quite right in that the Kalista probably needs to get going and do something early on. Not necessarily going to be easy for her later on. The Ahri with this build, not going to be easy for her, really, ever. And as you move into the top side as well, Rek'Sai might be able to try and 1v1 the Misfortune, but I don't know that it's going to be enough to take you all the way through this game.
And man, we're already getting first item completions. HongQ with the first one, and it's going to be that Blackfire Torch. So being able to do a lot of damage. Already you saw it there, kind of clearing that whole wave in one go. And he's also the first one to complete his quest. Quickly alongside him is Xiaoxu.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously for Xiaoxu, he got injected with those early couple of kills and finds himself now a level ahead. Was the matchup that he took here, so knows that he's got counter pick, let's say. He's expected to be doing better in this matchup than Flandre would like, but we've got a dragon spawning in a minute 15, Mazel, and I think that previously we might have expected Anyone's Legend to feel comfortable starting this up, but believe it or not, the 4-5 gold lead that Hope has for himself is not a big enough one to give them prio down on that bot side.
That is true. That is true. We'll see a little bit more contesting on the top side now. Flandre going to use his tunnels to make sure he can heal up a little bit. Does complete his quest there, so at least he's even in that regard. Also does have that Titanic Hydra completed. Maybe an all-in for this fight as Tarzan comes over. Flandre gets knocked up, and now they're going to try to chase. They're going to follow. He's got the dive, though, and Xiaoxu stays alive. He's got his passive up, too, and he's going for the kill. Get the flash! Xiaoxu is a beast, a monster, anything you could ask for, and he's playing Zai ahead like a pro.
And now they're going to dive on the bot side as well. Hope falls under the turret. 3-man banned from JDG. They are finding success everywhere.
Hope down an almost 4,000 gold lead for JDG. Tabe is grinning ear to ear backstage right now.
I mean, this is just the worst case scenario for anyone's legend. You talked about the game 1 perfect game that JDG didn't quite have, but currently in game number 2, they've given up nothing. No Drakes, no Grubs, no kills either, and at the risk of ritualistic chanting and caster cursing JDG here, they're on for it to begin with. We'll see with this dragon being started up, Flandre makes his way down to the spot side, so they clearly want something to do on this spot side of the map, and I think level 11 versus level 9 does give him a small edge. That being said though, JunJia steps up and he's the one hitting it.
All right, next dragon's going to go over to JDG. AL back off. We have our first items throughout. We have that Bloodthirster completed with that kind of brawling, I guess, dueling Misfortune build that we actually saw in NACL at the end of last year. Yeah. But incredible stuff to see kind of this pace of play that JDG have had.
I mean, as patient as it is, 4,500 gold lead, 2 dragons in their back pocket. Everything's going right for them, and you'd like to think that they can continue this with a composition that we don't particularly think falls off as the game gets later. Maybe we can see Kael with a massive hostile takeover turn the tides of the game, but it's not expected by any means, and you just expect that for JDG, as long as their playmakers can keep on going, JunJia and Vampire, as long as they can link up, good news awaits the JDG fandom.
Does indeed. What a comeback it would be as well as being able to see a little bit of redemption after falling to IG. Both teams coming off of 2-1 losses to their respective opponents. AL against BLG. As JunJia actually gets charmed under turret. Shanks doing a really nice job of sidestepping that engage. Now AL are in position to maybe collapse, but Xiaoxu's behind them. They're going to take the fight. Tarzan just goes straight for Gala. They go for the 3-man knockup. The hostile takeover coming over, but it's a little bit too late. No, is it enough? JunJia survives for just a moment. Tarzan will end up claiming his life. Now Xiaoxu needs to be a little bit careful. He doesn't have the passive up. If he gets killed, he's going to go down. He does end up getting the stacks back up, and now he can feel confident to step forward. He's a little bit low, but now hope goes down to Gala, who bounces a bullet off of his teammate, and that's going to be a big pickup for JDG.
So 1-for-1 here, so the perfect game over for JDG, but they do slaughter Hope once more. 0-3-1 on this Kalista, really not finding the best access in these team fights, as whoever he tries to auto-attack, they've got dashes and flashes to get on top of you. So it's a very difficult fight for Hope in this game. Didn't get the advantage from the bot lane, didn't run down this duo like they needed to early on, and now finds himself in a mid-game team fight that is very difficult for him to navigate. Take a look at the replay, and it's immediately access to Gala. Tarzan flashes on top, but with JunJia being there, Vampire being there, this is what they've done so well. And what Vampire has actually done so well is act as that peel source for his AD carry. Now this comes at the cost, right? Misfortune with no ulti, very underwhelming most fights, but they're able to reset, turn this fight back around, and Hope takes just a little bit too much damage, gets hit with a double up from Gala and is able to fall. Flash away from Kael as well to keep himself alive, but JDG finding constant advantages here, and a 2-0-1 Gala here. Definitely scary stuff for AL.
And it's just all about those set pieces that we talked about from the draft for them. They knew what was in store for them if they can line up, and so far they've been lining up. We'll be getting closer and closer to second items completed there. Rift Herald is up on the top side of the map. Dragon not for another 2 minutes. Turret has fallen on the bot side though. And that'll be second turret rather of the game going over to JDG. As we see, he took the other one up there.
Yeah, so it's a lot of gold for Xiaoxu. He's 2k up over Flandre right now, who, you know, blind pick this Rek'Sai. Did think that he was going to be able to deal with whatever got thrown at him as JunJia gets dashed on, but Charm went wide, and there's not really any threat after the fact. Shanks with a miss on another Charm, not quite finding success in this game either.
And, yep, I just struggle to see how any leadership, even from Tarzan, would maybe change the fate of this game right now. It's a tough one to be in for sure, being down this much this early.
Short of saying, okay, guys, we need to hit all of our skill shots and dodge all of theirs, and that being leadership.
Get more CS, get more objectives. Just go down
their gameplay, their macro, their micro, their CSing, their last hitting, and their skill shots, AL are doing really well this game.
They're doing great. They're doing great. Nah, it's been a really kind of come up game from JDG after a tough loss in that game number 2. Still felt like they had some fighting spirit in them, but a couple of mistakes here or there. But this is a return to form from what we saw in that game number 1 as well. And in a little bit of different style, right? More focused towards that bot lane, more focused toward this top side of the map as well.
And you know, we saw HongQ getting the better of Shanks in the 1v1, but looking at that CS, it's largely even this time round. Shanks being the one who, you know, probably holding his own relative to the rest of his team. Like you say, it's not so much about that mid lane, but we already know that as this game gets later, the victor is going to be a fiend, and I like the build path that we're seeing here. This is, you know, head straight for damage almost with that Blackfire being picked up, but Dragon started now by anyone's legend. 5 members of JDG looking to collapse on them. Xiaoxu on the flank here. Can AL find this and get out?
They are going to look for it. They got the Ren combo with the smite. They do get it. Now Vampire is just completely caught out. So much damage from Shanks and Flandre. Now JunJia is backing off. JDG have lost a big chunk of their advantage. The turret is going to be charged on by Shelly. Not enough damage to do too much more to it, but JDG caught a little bit.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I love that look from anyone's legend here. Vampire just, you know, he's looking, he's posturing, right? He's just posturing to try and find that engage. Flandre knocks him up. Shanks follows up as well, and this is a level 9 Rakan with 2 solo laners wailing on him. He's going to die very quickly, so really good heads-up play, I must say, from the anyone's legend solo laners. And they get the dragon, they get the kill, and JDG's momentum is quashed.
And honestly, it's huge for AL to kind of buy themselves a little bit of breathing room now. I mean, they've already hit second item on a couple members. Obviously, got Spear of Shojin now completed for Flandre, as well as that Gunsu's for Hope. Those are going to be big item completions as well. But is there a threshold you really want them to reach? Is it that 3rd item, Spike?
I think for both of these teams, Mazel, that as they get later, they're feeling less confident in their scaling, and it will come down to, okay, both of our marksmen. Okay, never mind. Hold on, Tarzan.
Tarzan thought he could just pop off.
Yeah. Oh. And Shanks Cham goes wide. Well, he flashed, but he did burn HongQ flash as well, and a victor with no flash is very dangerous. So, the point being, though, Mazel, sorry, I got cut off by a double flash engage. Misfortune and Kalista, both champions that don't feel amazing as you move later on, unless you're MF and you're like super fed, but you can see Gala quite happy to stand and T-pose on AL in the solo laners. Okay.
Bullet time coming through as well. Using the Maker Rain to get the slowdown at least. But JDG have taken back control of this top side of the map. I don't think they're going to be threatening Baron anytime soon, but at least control the map for now.
I sure hope not. Baron is definitely very dangerous when we are, I'll say, even though the gold lead is not that close, the momentum of this game feels very stagnant. It doesn't feel like JDG have got this 4K gold lead.
I can agree with that as well. I think it's going to take a couple more fights before it truly kind of goes out of hand for AL. But I don't know. I love the concept of Kalista as well as the Renata, obviously, but I just feel like LPL has not had a great time with a lot of our Kalistas. I wouldn't say everyone, but a lot of our Kalistas. And I just don't see the carry power as we move forward.
We came back from MSI where Kalista had this disgusting loss ratio. And then in the first game of the year, Jackie played Kalista for top esports and absolutely tore everybody to shreds. And I was like, well, I guess the champ's fine. People just suck. So I'm always on a question mark with Kalista. If you can pilot the champion, you're going to pop off. If, however, you get caught by one bit of CC and your mechanics aren't impeccable, you're going to struggle. And that's just kind of where we find the majority of AD carries, is that they will take one click incorrectly. And on Kalista, you get punished for that.
All right, we did finally get completion for Shanks. He has his Horizon Focus now completed there. We got the Cosmic Drive on the other side for HongQ too. It's still JDG kind of death partying up here, grouping up so heavily, and they're going to take the blue buff.
Yeah, their ability to close out this game, I mean, if they wanted to do it, they would be looking for the Infernal Soul. That seems like the classic go-to of, okay, let's get Soul, let's close out like that. But they didn't really put too much priority. They didn't put too many stakes on that final dragon that just went down. So I'm hoping that in a minute's time they will change their ways and start turning their attention back towards it. That being said, we have got 2 solo laners, both with teleport, but they're both in the mid lane, so we'll see whether or not these upgraded TPs for the top laners can be used as well as they were in game number 2. Because by having your mid laners up here, you don't have that big impact TP with the shield when you expect your top laners to be on that bot side.
And we did get level 16 for Xiaoxu. I think his Grim Deliverance usage and kind of the reset on his health bar is going to be extremely important to kind of keep tabs on. But one of the biggest things that kind of undercurrent here so far is that one big catch from Flandre, he is full damage. They will shred these squishies, and that is what AL is relying on in these fights, for somebody to overextend, for Gala not to be watching his feet, for Vampire to get caught out and to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think that's a really big call out, actually, that the Rek'Sai is just going to try and tear you asunder. So make sure that we're keeping our eyes on the positioning of Flandre, whether or not he can get these unique angles. And with the Rek'Sai, it is quite easy. Just posture around the backside of the pit, you can see that the Ahri's trying to do the same thing as well. But Dragon has now spawned, and with the pushing on the mid wave, anyone's legend, they might try and flip a Baron here if they want to go super quickly. They do have Kalista, so it's not out of the realms of possibility that when they head to Dragon, we head to Baron.
All right, they're going to start it up now. It's getting a little bit quickly done. I don't think there's going to be much that JDG can do. They're actually just leaving the Dragon. It's going to be a bit late, but maybe it's enough time for JDG to get in and do something. JunJia just wants to force it. Immediately gets hostile takeover. He just wants to get in the pit. Goes in.
Steals it!
JunJia steals the Baron. And now they got to take the fight, though. That convergence is doing some work. Vampire gets chased down by Flandre. That assassin bug is going to be enough, but Gala gets a return kill. And now it is so advantageous for JDG as they hunt down Hope. He's hopping and skipping, but he's hopping straight to an early grave here sooner rather than later.
Hold on, never mind.
Had Flandre come back from dead, it felt like, to get the kill for Hope.
Okay, well, it was a disaster, and if Gala gets caught here as well, that's even worse. But okay, overall, let's take stock. It was a 2 for 2, and the Baron got stolen by JDG. So JunJia against Kalista Smite duo manages to worm his way into the pit and smite it down. Now the question is, what happens for this Dragon? With Tarzan being dead, you have to imagine it's just forfeit and that JDG pushed themselves to soul point. But how on earth did they even steal that? JunJia, what a man!
Welcome back to the LPL King. We missed you. We missed you, man.
How does he even get in here? So he gets hostile takeover. You can see Kael is just trying to run interference, and he just smites on the Rend of Hope. Hope does about 1400 damage with his Rend, and then the smite doesn't come through on the flip side, and it is just not quite good enough, unfortunately. As anyone's legend as a whole, they have to be so synced up on that, and unfortunately they weren't. This, however, as a flip side play, Hope decides that the barrier is going to be enough to be saving him, and he's correct to do so. Flandre does a really good job at actually bailing out his marksman.
Vampire is dead to the pursuit of Flandre. Now they're going to go full ulties in. Shanks chasing him down too. HongQ goes down. JDG have lost multiple members now. We need to be a little bit careful. Xiaoxu is looking for them. He does have the health bar reset as well. The GA going to be there. The knockup from JunJia. Look at this Zahen go to town. He's about to go even harder now. JunJia holding him down while they wait. There's more knockups to come too. There's the third. Tarzan getting chunked down. Here comes the Grim Deliverance from the skies. The Darken reign supreme. A triple kill for Xiaoxu.
A 5 for 4 and the Darken reign supreme. It is Xiaoxu who comes out on top with the Baron at his back. He is going to start laying waste to the structures of anyone's legend. They don't have the time to end.
No, what is that damage?
In 20 seconds. But look at the damage he does, Mazel. Absolute carnage.
We need a new copy pasta. Get Showmaker started on a new one. I need it as soon as possible. This was disgusting from the one man that JDG rebuilt the team with still in mind.
And you can see here the power of the Rek'Sai that Flandre has, the power that this diving duo in the solo lanes is going to present. Gala not able to withstand a Rek'Sai, but you also see what a bruiser top laner can do. In the face of 4 people, gets popped
tell me top lane's balanced, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, as long as Xiaoxu's farming well, he's getting these level leads and he's doing so well. Shanks here steps into the Grim Deliverance, which does cost him his life. And from there, it is just a matter of time. But I mean, this is Xiaoxu's game to prove himself, right? If JDG don't win this, he'll be the one that's kicking himself. 8-0 and 3 on the Zehen. 1,000 gold shutdown, got those 2 kills early. He's making his case this game for the MVP for this matchup. And he has to carry JDG over the line now.
Tarzan is going for an Omega flank here. He's like saving Private Ryan levels of behind enemy lines. He's going to try to weave his way around some of this vision. But look at the control wards. Look at JDG's discipline. They have 4 control wards down here when they're trying to push.
And the second they saw him is the second almost that they decide that they have to back off. They have to play safe and they have to protect that flank angle. It's very smart. It's very wise. But it does obviously give a little bit of a reprieve to anyone's legend, so that just the simple positioning from Tarzan there does enough to thwart any form of fight.
Oh my god, he's on 4 items already. Xiaoxu is the king of this game. It is up to him when the game is over.
Yeah, without a doubt.
He's doing 42% of his team's damage right now.
That is wild. Obviously, a 93% kill participation for JunJia. I do want to say that getting KP on Jarvan is fake because your flag gives everyone around you attack speed, which counts as an assist. So Jarvan is just a cheat code to getting better kill participation. But even still, let's not doubt the fact that this Jarvan was instrumental in that fight that we saw JunJia, that we saw Xiaoxu even take over. Quick engage onto the Jarvan though.
Oh, they're going to try to find him again. His GA is going to get popped here if he can't find a way out. Some healing came through there from the Sundered Sky, but not enough. There goes the charm, kind of counterplay with that quickness pop of Vampires just getting locked down, and AL just sink their teeth into whoever's closest to them, and they're looking for more here. Look at Xiaoxu though. Grim Deliverance gets the kill, at least with the help of Gala. Gala has staved off the darkness now. Flandre tried to get him, but he couldn't do it. Now Xiaoxu has his GA popped, or at least ready to go. Hope getting chased down by HongQ, just gets him down with the help of Xiaoxu. Now Xiaoxu's going to turn back onto Flandre. They know where they need to go, and HongQ knows exactly what his job is to take down Shanks. Going to lead him to Tarzan, but Tarzan comes and gets the knockup potentially here, but it's not enough.
Oh,
it's going to be so much damage from Shanks and Tarzan, and time again, they pull something back.
And JDG just biting off a little bit more than they can chew here. HongQ just almost limit testing in the LPL here, flying forward, trying to get in the mixer with all 3 people, just not quite able to do enough. And again, we look at the death time as that death is going to be very, very massive, as now they have to play with no mid laner for the next sort of 15 seconds of overlap time. A really big blunder there from HongQ. They could have this dragon signed, sealed and delivered, but we'll see whether or not anyone's legend can find a fight from here.
10-0 and 3 on Xiaoxu. Is it enough to get this final dragon? I think if Infernal Soul goes over, it's so much more difficult. Look, he's just going to chase down Shanks. Doesn't get the knockback, or at least pullback, but does get Shanks' ult out. Xiaoxu's going to have to be a little bit careful. Spirit Rushes have been used, so that's a big tool down from AL.
Okay, we're back to a 5 versus 5 now here. Mazel TP into the mid lane from HongQ. His transgressions forgiven as Tarzan forces the flash from Gala.
Tarzan overforced that one. The hostile taker comes through, but it's not enough. Look at the Arcane Storm. It's going to work now. Xiaoxu finds 1 kill already. He's got his GA ready to go too. Tarzan getting chased down now. HongQ gonna kick the kill there, and they can't really follow up anymore, but they will go back for the soul, and that's the whole reason they showed up.
That's all they wanted from this. The kills are an extra bonus, and it's all off the back of HongQ once again this time round in game number 3. He's the one who steps up. Xiaoxu 11 kills on the Zehen, but it's the victor in that fight that makes all of the difference.
Oh my god, they're just going to go for the end. This is a team coached by Tabe. This is what AL feel like maybe they're missing this year, not being with their true general in Tabe, and that might is being flexed right on top of them. JDG, the new home of Tabe, the rookies of these new entries into the league, especially HongQ coming through into the LPL. It is all about growth, and we see this comeback point and center. A triple kill for Gala and a 2-1 victory at the Tabe Bowl for
goes the way of JDG. Tabe reveling in his victory here up against his former organization, and off the back of some of, if not the best Zehen play that we've seen so far in the LPL. Very great stuff from Xiaoxu, who again for me had a wonderful series, right? Game number 1 was a real PowerPoint, quashing Flandre on the Rumble. Game 2, even in their defeat on that Gwen, he was a part of why they were so close and so far ahead for a large part of it. I mean, Xiaoxu rather, has such a good series. I think he's going to get overshadowed by his mid laner, and with good reason.
He gets MVP for this one, I think.
HongQ for sure. Just HongQ for the series.
He was,
incredible.
Series for sure.
But for this game, Xiaoxu, incredible stuff.
What a series. Honestly, that's a banger. I know it wasn't the cleanest, and my God, never, ever pick Vampire Bard ever again. But they did the damn thing. They won.
Yeah, and I think that honestly his Rakan this game was present. It wasn't overwhelming, it wasn't underwhelming, but even still, so some points to pick out from. I think the good thing that he did well was look to peel, and I think that if nothing else as a support, as long as you can peel your AD carry, they're going to be happy with you, and that's one of the large things that we're looking for in bot lane duos.
I'm just so happy that the JunJia HongQ combo is still working. Like there's a lot of potential for when there's a going to a new roster or things like that. Like it's just so cool that they kept them together, and then this is the payoff we get, because we get to see some aggressive, fast-paced, kind of get everything going, LCP style, LPL style gameplay coming, and it's really throwing a wrench into the works of the standing team of AL who did so well in 2025.
It absolutely has. There's no finer way of putting it. They didn't really know what to do. I mean, game number 1, there wasn't particularly a chance for anyone's legend. I think that game number 3, there was maybe a little bit more of one, but it wasn't with anything to do with the mid jungle. It felt a lot like, if anything, JunJia was just kind of everywhere, where Tarzan wasn't particularly present on this Wukong, and any of those fights that he looked for, he didn't quite get the chance to make happen.
Exactly that. I do wonder what could have been with some of those mistakes by AL across the couple of the games. Like, just tell me. If I'm crazy, it's fine. You can tell me I'm crazy. If Kael doesn't mess up the headbutt pole in game number 1 at the Skull, like,
yeah, that's the first breaking point, isn't it? As well?
I mean,
there are so many what ifs.
Series. There is,
and it could be an entirely different series. You're so right. I mean, for anyone's legend, I think they can revel in that almost, in the fact that this could have been something different. In the end, it is JDG that come out on top. The 2-1 score goes their way, but I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed looking at this series. Good that JDG came back and found their win that they were sorely looking for, that they didn't quite manage to find yesterday against IG. I do think that realistically, JDG may be looking at one of our top 3 teams in the league, but they have to prove it versus the rest of them. And, a good win here versus anyone's legend is certainly a good showcase.
Yeah. Well, I gotta ask you, do you have like maybe 2-3 stars of takeaways, positives or negatives from today?
I think that anyone's legend really need to work on what their early games look like. Tarzan, even in their win, didn't feel like a reason that they were finding early game success. For JDG, we need to see a lot more